And so for you, Julian, you went from being a chef to business, marketing, content creator. For any of the listeners who are contemplating a career pivot, what kind of advice do you have?
I would say, and I know this is easier said than done, so don't roll your eyes yet.
They're still rolling their eyes at my answer.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, then I'll be a little edgier and I'll just say, get over yourself. Honestly, you're the one overthinking it more than anyone else. And I will also say that it doesn't matter what you do. Some people are going to support you, some people aren't. It doesn't matter what you do. So just do it, honestly. I think a lot of people struggle with it because they're overcomplicating the decision. I also think people feel a lot of embarrassment or shame around the shift because there's so much equity in this old identity. And so to leave that world or to change that story is to accept that maybe I was wrong. Maybe you were wrong, but maybe the world changed in between the moment you started preparing for that life, that job, or that career compared to where you are now. And I think today, especially while new economies and new currencies and new industries are being created, you owe it to yourself to be as flexible as possible and to pay attention and to see some of these new opportunities. And I think especially in the creator world, we tell this story in our book, I remember what I thought an influencer was back in 2015. And even that perspective was rooted in a bit of elitism. I kind of felt like these were silly, immature people who take pictures of themselves all day. And I am, to some people, they would say I'm an influencer, but I get paid very well to be an influencer. And I'm doing work that I think is groundbreaking, quite honestly. And it has opened up so many doors for me. And I think a lot of people would want that. You would want to do something that is rewarded and celebrated, that feels good, that is purpose-driven and lucrative. That is the world that we live in, and we're proud of that. And so if you're thinking about being a creator, don't let little things like, oh, what are people going to say about me? Don't worry about that. Be more interested in what the new people who haven't met you yet are going to say about these new ideas and these new skills that you're bringing to the table. So don't overthink it. Just change, switch it up, do what you have to do, and tell your own story.
And I think one of the things that you guys have been really good at is figuring out how to make your experiences work with what you're doing next. You're incorporating your experience as a chef, your marketing. So I think maybe also making the pieces of the puzzle fit together instead of treating everything as like a separate experience.
Yes. That has been something that every single time it happens, it blows my mind because it's hugely beneficial to us. And honestly, I think everything actually fits together, but you've got to fiddle. You got to give yourself enough time to fiddle to see how it fits. And when it does, you finally hear that snap, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's the thing that will uniquely separate you from other people in your category. And that feeling is awesome. I hope a lot of people get an opportunity to kind of feel that, but it will require them to start fiddling, to start exploring outside the lane that they're in. And to your point, looking at all of the different pieces of their skill set and realizing that actually, wow, this thing that I do at this job that my boss actually doesn't care about, that's 1/10 of my day-to-day responsibility, is really lucrative outside of this agreement. So maybe I should explore that and fiddle with that. And I think that's weird to people because there's so much pride in some of the other things that they do, and they feel like they've gone so far down that road that it's almost like that sunk cost fallacy. I don't want to lose out on the carrot that I believe is coming, but I'm encouraging you to take a breath, step to the side, look outside of that arena, look outside of that company, that industry, whatever it is, and start compartmentalizing all of your skill sets to find a thing where there really is a lot of room for growth and fulfillment.